Hello and good morning, students. Welcome to GT Update. I'm Juliana Brown.
And I'm Tommy Willman. Now today's broadcast is going to be a little different as we're dedicating the show to all the amazing traditions here at Georgia Tech.
That's right. Whether you're new in town or you grew up a Yellow Jacket, hopefully you learned something new about the Institute.
Joining us today is one of the most highly decorated alumni the Institute has ever seen. Not only has the World War II veteran completed every major at Tech, but he was also a runner-up for the Time Magazine Person of the Year in 2001. I'm happy to welcome George Peeperdell to our show. George, how you doing? George, are you there?
Actually, Tommy, George isn't, real. He was created by a former GT student, Ed Smith, as a little prank on his high school principal.
So no one thought to tell me this before we got on air? Y'all just made me look like a fool in front of everyone?
Well, at least you weren't the first. Over the years, George's name has been used as a practical joke across the world. Sometimes you'll even hear his name over the airport intercom. Some people even say that George was once a Buzz. In case you haven't met him already, Buzz is one of our mascots here at the Institute. You can find him causing mayhem at athletic events or taking a stroll across campus. We invited him to join us on the show today, but he isn't much of a talker.
He may not have the loudest voice, but in no way is he lacking in personality. Buzz was first created by a Tech student with the help of a Six Flags costume designer, and out of nowhere he just showed up at a pep rally. No one really knew who Buzz was with, but everyone sure did love him. With the support of the athletics department, Buzz quickly became the official mascot of Georgia Tech and has been here ever since. Now, don't forget about our other mascot, the Wreck. Yes, that's right, here at Georgia Tech we have two mascots. The Wreck is a 1930 Ford Model A sports coupe that has been at Tech since 1961.
Since then, the Wreck has led the Jackets onto the field for every home football game, and you can also find it driving around on campus on any given day. It's also a tradition around here that you cannot touch the Wreck until you finish your finals at the end of your first year, or else we lose to UGA. When talking about the traditions of Georgia Tech, there's also one week that stands out above the others, and that is homecoming. Homecoming happens every fall semester where we invite back all of our alumni for a week of Tech spirit and many traditions. One of my favorite homecoming events is the Mini 500, where different campus organizations race tricycles around Peter's parking deck. It may sound ridiculous, but trust me, it is thrilling to watch.
We also have the freshman cake race, where new students wake up early in the morning for a half-mile race. Once each student finishes, they're rewarded with a cupcake at the finish line. It started out as a recruiting tool for the cross-country team, but now it's open to all first-year and new transfer students. Let's take a minute to look back at some important moments in GT sports history. Legendary coach John Heisman led the Yellow Jackets to 3 undefeated seasons and a national championship. He even invented the forward pass. Heisman was also the coach during what is known as the most lopsided victory in college football history when we beat Cumberland College 222-0.
And speaking of football, I guess it's time to discuss one of the biggest football rivalries around, between the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the University of Georgia Bulldogs. Now you may be wondering, why do we hate that school in Athens so much? Well, it dates all the way back to the beginnings of our football program. This clean old-fashioned hate, as it's called, started when the Bulldogs football team claimed they could beat any team in the state. When our Yellow Jackets heard about this, they quickly headed down to Athens to accept the challenge.
The Jackets were winning 28-6 in the third quarter when UGA players started throwing rocks and dirt at our team. The Yellow Jackets were then forced to leave via cargo train. Now this train actually crashed and we were forced to board another train to finally finish our trip. What a day that must have been. A reporter later said that the Wrecks rambled back to Tech, hence the name Ramblin' Wreck that is given to Tech students.
When the team finally got back to Tech, they got on the roof of the shacks, or the residence halls, and wrote, "To hell with Georgia." In fact, nowadays, that's how one might commonly respond when asked, "What's the good word?"
Let's try it out. What's the good word?
To hell with Georgia!
Now, we may not like the Bulldogs, but there is one pooch who has a special place in the heart of Yellow Jackets, and that's Sideways the dog. Sideways was a dog who fell out of the back of a truck in 1945, and the students in the residence halls adopted her. The reason she was called Sideways is based on how she walked a bit crooked after the accident.
Sideways quickly became an Institute icon as she was often found walking into classrooms and even leading the football team onto the field. Safe to say, Tech fell head over heels for this peculiar pooch. However, Sideways unfortunately passed away in 1947 and was buried under Tech Tower. Today, it's a tradition for Tech students to put a penny on her grave for good luck on finals. Finally, on any given day at Tech, there's one sound you definitely won't miss, and that's the whistle. It's been around since our days as a trade school. You'll hear the whistle every day for class changes, as well as whenever Georgia Tech scores a touchdown on game day.
And just like that, it looks like we're out of time. Thanks for joining us on this Traditions edition of GT Update.
We hope you enjoyed these traditions just as much as we did. And until next time, stay dry, Yellow Jackets.